Okay, I'm back in my darkroom. I'm going to show you guys how I scan my negatives or digitise them. I don't have a scanner, so this is the best way I found that I can get decent results through scanning my negs, purely for archival purposes. So this is my Durst Enlarger. You can see I've got the negative there of this portrait. It says a medium format negative. And here I've got, I'll focus it in, my Canon 6D, and it's a Sigma lens attached, macro lens. The bellows are fully extended so no light's coming onto the lens from outside. And around this side, the back of the camera, if you can see this, I can focus in, turn the enlarger on, and there's our negative on the other side. So all I need to do is just take a stills photograph of it. Obviously it's on a tripod. Take a stills photograph of the negative and put it in Photoshop and invert it, and then I've got my digitised reference of that photograph. So on the camera itself, I set the aperture on the lens to f11, which is the sweet spot that I found for this lens. My shutter speed is around 20th or 30th a second, I can't remember now what it is. And I use the timer so that I'm not going to wobble the camera. I'll just take a shot now. There you go. That's that's what it looks like on the back of the camera. I've just retracted the bellows so you can see the setup there. So when I pull the bellows back through, it goes over the lens like so, and that hides any alien light coming through. Okay. And this is the Sigma lens I'm using. This is a macro lens from Sigma 28135, as you can see, and I got that for about 30 quid on eBay, that lens, and a small adapter ring for the Canon camera. But you can use a 50mm lens and an extension tube, and there it is. That's a Pentax 50mm lens on an extension tube. And again, if you haven't got a macro lens, you can always use a 50mm lens with an extension tube to get inside the, get close enough to the negative. And there it is. The bellow tubes are extended on the enlarger. I have to pull a 50mm with the extension tubes away because of the focal length. I can't get right inside. But if we take another snapshot, you can see the negative in there. Let me just close the aperture down, see if you can see that. No, too bright. Right, let's take another test shot with the 50mm lens, and there it is there. So yeah, that's how I scan my negatives without using a scanner, and I get pretty good results. I'll just show you those results now on the computer. So let's find the negative I've bought off the card. There it is, and just open it up in Photoshop. If you haven't got Photoshop, you can invert these images on other editing tools, I should imagine, but I'm using Photoshop. Just wait for the image to come up. There it is. First thing I do is crop it, and now it's time to invert the image so we can see what it looks like, black and white. There you go, it looks great already, nice and sharp. And I just adjust the levels. Same sort of thing I'd do in a darkroom if I was printing on paper would be to use some contrast tools or something and whatnot, but yeah, just adjust the levels like so, and that's it. It's job done. It's a nice negative that I've got digitised for archival and reference purposes, and just save it into my folder. So that's how I digitise my negatives. As I said, I haven't got a scanner. I've tried other ways of taking photographs of negatives. This way, using my enlarger, I find is the best way. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll make another video soon. Cheers.